Hey guys, so this is the third part of the shock rebuild. Basically, I'm just going to be getting the shock body all prepped and ready to get for the final assembly. So what I have here is just a garbage bag, because when we start putting oil in this, it's going to go everywhere. So I have a garbage bag to keep it off my workbench. But first thing we got to do is get the valve back in right here. And what that is it's that little adjuster that just goes right in here. But we're gonna get this ready. And some people use Loctite on these threads. You don't need to. You really don't. All I'm gonna do is take a little bit of oil and lube up the. Trying to get this in the frame. Lube up this little O-ring around here with some oil before you put it in. And there's another O-ring down here too. That one too. All nice and lubed up. And then pretty much just screw it back in. And tight, then get out I don't know if I have the right size socket. You can use a 13/16, it'll just barely fit, but if you have anything bigger than that, like probably like a 22 or something, you could use that, but I just use an adjustable wrench and just keep tightening this in until it's in all the way. And when you torque this down, it's aluminum going into aluminum. So, you gotta be careful. You can't just torque it down really tight. You gotta be kind of, lenient with how tight you're gonna put this in. So, just kind of pretend like it's a spark plug and you're putting a spark plug in. Get it about that tight. That's the best way I can explain it. I would say, I think it's around 12-15 foot-pounds, but so you can see just enough. Doesn't need to be too tight. And the next step of getting this all back together is we got to prep our bladder. And here's the bladder and the bladder cap. And what we're going to do for that is, when you took it apart, you'll probably notice that there was a white grease on the inside of the bladder in here, and on the outside of the bladder cap, like right around here. So if you clean this off and all that grease is gone, you don't want to put it together without any grease. So just get any type of grease, really, just to it just helps it seal. And what I'm using is some of this Molly grease, just stuff that you can get at your auto store. And I'm just gonna open it up, kind of move back here so you can see, hopefully a little bit better. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna apply it to the bladder instead of the bladder cap, just to kind of get it in a lot smoother. And you just want a light coat. You don't want to put in too much, so I'll show you as I'm doing this. Just get a little bit, just get it in that ridge, just get it around. Like I said, just to help it seal a little bit. And I'll show you at the inside of this when I'm done. So you can see, hopefully, there's just a little bit of grease on the inside. I'll wipe my finger off, and then, make sure this is all clean. Then these just slide into each other, pretty much. I have to push and twist and eventually it will just snap on. And if you squeeze some of the air out of it and it looks, you know, all weird shaped like that, just press in the straighter valve and let it fill back up with a little bit of air. You get a punch. Just push this in. You hear it suck in the air, and then it'll go back to its normal shape. Then that's ready. So let me just clean up a little bit. The next video is probably going to be putting it together, because I don't want to try and squeeze it all into this video. It's probably going to take about 7 minutes or so. Yeah. So yeah, this is just like a little prep video, just to, you know, show you guys what's going on and get it all ready for final assembly. And I'll show you. Just got the shock all fine. You know, our Loctite is on there doing its job. It's all clean. Make sure it's all clean. You know, I got my bearings out. That's going to be in another video too, putting the bearings back in. But we got our valve put back in, and we have our bladder nice and assembled. So next video is going to be throwing this all together, so come on back.